rotate this. Where my finger's blocking. Alright. Let's give this another try. Hopefully nothing falls. Hopefully nothing stupid is said. Anyway, alright. For the millionth time today. Hello, this is Mr. Hornsby83. This is the Mr. 83 show. I am doing my 2019 Toyfair reaction, and I've tried to do it conventional way, but for whatever reason, I can't get it the conventional way, so I'm just gonna do a live stream. I got a live stream planned tomorrow. It's gonna be a playthrough of the first Raw game, and I won't be able to see the chat, so I will respond to any chat messages left in this live stream today. I will respond to it tomorrow. But this is why I get annoyed when I lose, because I bust my tail and work my butt off to give them the best video I possibly can. But that's neither here or there. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna go through all the things that disappointed me at Toyfair this year. Then I'm gonna go through a lot of things that made me excited for this year's Toyfair. So let's get into the disappointing stuff first. First of all, Mattel WWE. Really, to me, I think was the biggest disappointment of the show, period. I mean, we had other issues with other toy companies that were, but biggest disappointment to me was Mattel's WWE. They didn't have a good showing at this past Comic-Con either, and they didn't have a good showing at last year's Toyfair, so I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, so next up, I'm gonna go with Mezco Toys. Mezco Toys is one of the most popular toy making companies in the world, but the only thing they really unveiled was a Captain Marvel figure, which, not many people was probably excited. They just want to see that movie to know what's going on for when they go see Endgame in April. So, Captain Marvel figure unveiled. I think they might have unveiled a Punisher figure at this one. It might have been Comic-Con, whatever, but Let's Go, I think, was a big disappointment. Also, Diamond Select, one of the things that disappointed me about Diamond Select about a year ago, they were doing, Pulp Fiction figures, and they said they'd have Vincent Vega. They'd have a Vincent Vega and all that, and they really didn't unveil one yet. And if they did, I haven't seen it in the stores yet, so I don't know. When are we getting from Pulp Fiction? But I want to know. We got Jules, we got Butch, we have Marcellus, but we don't have Vincent Vega yet. Also, I have to move this table, but if I do, something's going to fall, so screw it. Also, I think that, as far as the Star Wars stuff and that, Hasbro had a bad showing. But they did have a good showing with some other things at Toyfair this year. I really didn't pay too much attention to the Lego stuff and all that other stuff, but no. Hulk, go lay down. No, you cannot get up here. You're gonna knock the freaking table over. Just go lay down. But yeah, I don't pay attention to the Lego stuff and that, so I'm not going to be talking about that stuff. But next stuff that was a disappointment was, what else? DC Collectibles, I don't think did too well. I mean, yeah, they had some neat Batman animated series stuff that really wasn't a part of the cartoon. It was just what-if scenarios. Those were cool and all that. And the DC multiverse stuff really wasn't that impressive either. They got like a Toy Biz style Joker and Toy Biz style Batman from the '89 Batman movie, which, yeah, not the freaking '89 Batman figure does not look like Michael Keaton, and the Joker does not look like Jack Nicholson. Now, someone said, well, maybe they're not meant to be looking like that. Okay, that's fine. But when you have Mezco or someone else that made an 89 Batman figure that looks just like Michael Keaton from the 89 movie and the one that NECA did years ago, people's going to have criticisms of it no matter what. So, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, they did unleash their Shazam stuff and all that, but who cares about Shazam? Uh, they unveiled their build a Lobo wave, or it's collect and connect with them. But I really was not impressed with. I mean, I like some of the figures, but they like removed like Black Canary, and they're going to replace it with someone else. The other ones look pretty decent, though. Other than that, that's really all the big stuff that those places did. Is all the stuff I mentioned. Now to some stuff that really excited me from this year's Toyfair 2019. First off, let's get right into the Wicked Cool Toys. Wicked Cool Toys unveiled a lot of awesome stuff. They unveiled new replica belts made the way that Jack's belt was made. And if they're an affordable price, I might take that one and sell that or get the money to get the freaking one that Wicked Cool Toys made. Because, one, it's shinier, and two, you know, they also got the Universal title coming out too. Both those belts look pretty good. They also unveiled some die-cast belts that they're saying are for collectors, and I'm hoping they are, you know, they fit well with the Mattel figures because they're made in the Jack style like this. And these Jack style world titles are the ones I consider the WCW version of the World Heavyweight title. And I got something else I'm going to be talking about at the end of the video with that. But, yeah, but if those belts do fit the Mattel figures, that would be awesome. Because then you could put those belts as the WCW championships. They don't have a WWE logo. They got pretty much a flat plate like that. But the other problem is, if they are, will you be able to paint NWO logos on those belts? I mean, this one was painted, well, I repainted this belt to look duller, and we had to re-put the NWO logo on it. And the other one, the Wolfpack one you've seen me use in other videos, my wife and I actually painted that NWO logo on there, which is the red NWO logo. So, because Jack's never made a red NWO logo World Heavyweight Championship, which was kind of weird. But if they don't fit the Mattel figures, I guess just have to stick with the Jack's belts for the WCW version of the world title. Anyway, which I'll talk about how many of these my son has in his collection at the end of the video. Same with how many of these he's got in his collection at the end of the video as well. Next up, this is a company I've never really talked about, and that's Super 7. I mean, what Super 7 made is amazing. They came out with some Masters of the Universe figures that, in my opinion, are the best Masters of the Universe figures, and that's because I mainly like the movie, but they unveiled some Masters of the Universe movie figures. They got the Dolph Lundgren as He-Man, they got Frank Logano as Skeletor, and they got two versions of Skeletor. Then they got Skag from the movie. Now, the Dolph Lundgren He-Man figure looks a little like Dolph Lundgren, but also kind of doesn't look like Dolph Lundgren, so it's, I don't know, it's 50-50. It still looks good enough to, you know, if I was a Master of the Universe collector, I'd probably be picking that sucker up, but, you know, I'm not, and I probably wouldn't have had money to get it anyway, because if I had the freaking money to get, there's a lot of things I ain't had the money to get, and I'll talk about that later on, but, anyway, yeah, so, because I believe those movie figures are going for $70 or higher, and it's like, whew. Those figures look great and all, but golly, $70 is just way too much. Anyway, especially when you got bills in that to pay. So next up is Hasbro with the Transformers, Marvel Legends. Oh my god. Let's talk about the Transformer stuff. They put out a awesome looking Transformer figure that I don't know how much they're going to charge for it, but it's awesome. I think it's Galvatron from year one. Looks pretty awesome. I think they also unveiled a Starscream or whatever. But the figures look pretty awesome. I think Hasbro really picked up the pace with their Transformers line and their Marvel Legends line, which I'll talk about here in a sec. God, I didn't realize how dirty this figure was. Anyway, yeah, so the Transformer stuff that Hasbro did unveil did look good. It's gonna be good to see that stuff, and you know, I don't collect Transformers. My son wants to collect them, but a lot of them are high priced. And the one I was just talking about is definitely gonna be high priced. So yeah. Now to all the Marvel Legends stuff, because, and I've said like so many times in this video, and I hate doing that. But I've done this like 500 times already today trying to get this video out there. I tried to do it last week, had issues. I said, screw it, I'll try it this week. Got it this week, and pretty cool. But let's get to their Marvel Legends stuff. Now, first off, let's start with the 80th anniversary stuff. They've unveiled a 2-pack of Wolverine and the Incredible Hulk, first appearance Wolverine against the Incredible Hulk. They have a Jim Lee style Colossus, not the one like this, but Jim Lee style Colossus like this, with a Juggernaut. I think that was the same mold they used for the Build-A-Figure Juggernaut. They also unveiled some stuff for the movies, like Avengers and that. Like, we're going to have a Iron Man with the missile launchers and all that. And they're actually going to fit, somehow you can put it up behind him as a diorama, I'm guessing. But they're made of plastic, and I don't know how they're going to do it, but it looks awesome. They made an Iron Spider with the actual tentacles from Spider-Man Far From Home. Looks really nice. Looks very awesome. It looks better than the one that just came in that Avengers Wave last year, where you build the Thanos figure. Then, back to the 80th anniversary stuff, they had another Iron Man and a Thor that are like based, I guess, another writer. Some other writer, I forgot what they say his name was, but it's based on that era of the comics, and they both look good, except for the Iron Man. The one that was on display looked wonky, but the one in the case looked good. So we'll have to find out and see which one's really going to be that version of Iron Man they put out. So we'll have to see on that one. Then with the Writers Wave, they did unveil a Captain America First Avengers Captain America figure with his bike. He's got the jacket on, like at the end of the first Captain America movie. He has the helmet, all that stuff, and looks pretty nice. I'm still wondering when they got that Xavier coming out, though. But, in the wheelchair. I don't know if it's out already or if they're putting it out. Just like with the Mystique, I don't know if it's out already or if they're still going to put it out. I don't know, because they still keep displaying it at all these conventions. But they don't give us nothing. Anyway, so then let's get to some of the Marvel Legends stuff that's individual. Well, first off, there's one more thing I want to talk about. A 3-pack with Magneto, the red Magneto, which is the one everybody, I guess, knows and loves. They did come out with one with the black gear for currently, but don't like that one. I like the red Magneto. Magneto and the red, Quicksilver, and Scarlet Witch are all coming together in a 3-pack. And depending on how pricey it is, I might end up getting it for my son, like as a birthday present, Christmas present, you never know. Then they did the X-Men Classics. What I mean by X-Men Classics is, you know, they're doing the Toy Biz style carding for these figures, and they got Cyclops and Dazzler. And Dazzler looks way better than the Dazzler that came out with that Build a Warlock figure. It's the Dazzler everybody knows and loves. It's not that crappy looking version one that they had in that Warlock wave. But the Cyclops is, I believe it's kind of his X-Force gear when he left the X-Men and went and became the leader of the X-Force or whatever. After, I guess, Storm beat him to become the leader of the X-Men. I believe they unveiled Jubilee, which was pretty awesome. I think they also unveiled Gambit. Still nothing about the Beast yet. I know Diamond Select has got a Beast coming out. I know Diamond Select also has Gambit coming out. But in their Marvel Select line. But, a lot of people probably want the Marvel Legend version of the Beast and Gambit and all that. And that's what I'm assuming. But also, they unveiled an X-Force Wave that has Thunderbolt, I think that's his name, and a couple other people who I don't really give a crap about. But then the two I did give a crap about was Nightcrawler. I have a bendy tail, so they're putting the bendy wire in the tail. I think they're also doing it for the tentacles. It's going to be on the Spider-Man figure that's coming out in for Far From Home. Then, finally, the man is getting a Hasbro Marvel Legends figure. That's what I'm talking about. This man, Mr. Sinister, is finally getting a figure. Only issue I had, well, I mean, I like the Toy Biz one. Toy Biz one is awesome looking. Although my son's got his dirty and scuffed up and all that. But I like the Toy Biz one. Only issue I had with it is, well, not with this one, but the one that they showed is these gloves here and that, they're going to be black. The boot from the feet, part of the boots all the way up to here is going to be black. The rest is going to be blue. The cape looks, but it still looks like an awesome figure. I mean, Mr. Sinister looks sinister. And pretty cool looking. I mean, he looks pretty sinister in this Toy Biz one too. But the cape looks a little looks to be made of different material than this one. That's one of the things I liked about this Sinister is because the cape, the way it's made is awesome. But that's what they're doing. Alright, now on to Storm Collectibles. Their Mortal Kombat, their Street Fighters that they unveiled was awesome. They also unveiled the logo they were making and the Darkseid, and the Darkseid figure looks pretty awesome. But, problem with Storm is they're too pricey on their stuff, and if McFarlane Toys is doing the Mortal Kombat figures too, and they're making old school ones and new school ones, and they have the articulation, a good size, and a good price, I'm sure a lot more people will probably buy McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat figures over Storm. And I mean, like, Storm's figures are great, but it's just they are so freaking pricey. And if they weren't so pricey, I didn't have kids and I didn't have a family to take care of and pay bills and all that, I probably would have bought some of the Storm collectible stuff. But got all that stuff. But anyway, yeah, it's just very, very pricey with their Storm. And I mean, first of all, let's talk about what they unveiled. They unveiled a new Bison figure. They unveiled a Sagat. They also unveiled, I believe, a Guile. And I think a couple other ones, but couldn't really tell. Like I said, I watched all this stuff, watched all the, the coverage of people like Pixel Dan and that covered it. I couldn't get out there to cover it. I eventually want to get out there to cover it myself so I don't have to rely on other people that, But anyway, I want to talk about the Sagat figure. The Sagat figure looks awesome. I mean, it is probably one of the best Sagat figures they've ever made. Now, there was another Sagat figure that was made years ago. That one was pretty awesome looking. But this one looks way better than that one. And Sagat, like a lot of other people's, one of my favorite characters on Street Fighter. I always use him when I play Street Fighter 2 or, Street Fighter 4. I haven't bought 5 because I don't have PS4. I had Street Fighter 4 though. And I haven't, really, the only Street Fighter games I've really played, I guess you could say, is 2. Well, I wouldn't say I have played. I've played the Alpha ones before. I've played some of the but yeah. And that's why I was so mad when the Street Fighter live action movie just screwed up the casting on God. It was just like the worst casting choice ever. Aside from what I'm going to be talking about next week with Mortal Kombat Annihilation. But, anyway, now let's get to that Mortal Kombat stuff. Oh my god, the Mortal Kombat stuff they unveiled was awesome as well. I mean, Baraka, Cyrax, which is my second favorite character in Mortal Kombat. My first was Scorpion. Cyrax, Smoke, and Baraka, those were awesome. I'd like to see a Kitaro, man. I'd like to see Storm make Kitaro. I mean, I don't think Kitaro's ever gotten a proper figure. I don't think he's ever gotten a figure. I think they've done Goro. They've never done Kitaro or any of that, which is crazy. I mean, even more Taro I think would be cool to see. And Storm would probably have more, resources to make Motaro than McFarlane probably would. But, yeah, it's just, them figures just look awesome. It's just a shame they're so pricey, because I guarantee you, if they weren't so pricey, a lot of people would buy the Storm collectible figures. And I'd be one of them. But, they're like way too pricey. Especially the Shao Kahn. Oh my god. I mean, it's awesome to see old school Shao Kahn. But, it's just too pricey. Now, the DC stuff they unveiled, like I said, was the Lobo and the Darkseid. And the Darkseid figure looks really awesome. If I had an image of it, I'd show it off, but I don't. But, it looks awesome. And I think, Darkseid's one of my favorite DC villains anyway. I mean, I love Darkseid. He's an awesome character. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get into the final thing. I'm pretty sure y'all know what it is. You see a number of the figures on this shelf. Most of them. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 5. Well, I'm not going to say they're the most, but they're the least. I should have put more of them on there. But I'm going to get into NECA. And then after that, I'm going to talk about, some things I'm hoping to see from these companies that I just talked about. And whether they were bad or good, showing at Toyfair. And I'm going to talk about some issues I have with some people that's been doing some things at Target, which I'll talk about after I get done talking about NECA. Alright, so anyway, NECA, I believe, had the best showing out there. First off, let's get into the Ninja Turtle stuff. The Ninja Turtle stuff is amazing, and when Randy interviewed Pixel Dan, he was talking about they got some other licenses in that they didn't have licenses to before that they can make figures of now. So that's pretty exciting. Hopefully one of them is a GTA figure. Probably not, I don't know. Storm might get that. I don't know. But, the Ninja Turtle stuff was amazing. And he said, 2 weeks from that day that he got interviewed by Pixel Dan, because he was like the first person Pixel Dan interviewed. First booth he went to was NECA. You know why? Because NECA's the best. Anyway. He ended up talking about, he ended up talking about the Turtles. He said, if they sell well, they're going to make a set 2, a set 3, etc., 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 but they got to sell well. And they can only, and these are the ones that were the Comic-Con exclusives, but now they can only sell them at Target, which, fine with me. But the Turtle figures were just awesome looking. All the Turtles, the Foot Clan ninjas, the Crane, the Shredder, they all look good. Now, the thing I got most excited about was the Shredder, because Shredder, as a little Mr. Hornby 83, I watched the late 80s, early 90s Turtle cartoon. I had some of the action figures. One figure I had was a crappy looking made Shredder. The helmet didn't look like what it did in the cartoon. The mask didn't look like it did in the cartoon. Cape kind of did. Claws didn't look like it. The freaking claw guard up here didn't look like it. And he had no shirt. They would sell that Shredder figure without a freaking shirt. He did not look like the cartoon at all. It did not look like the cartoon Shredder at all. Now the Krangs, they did alright on. The Turtles, they did alright on, all that. But NECA, I seen all the Turtle stuff they're doing for that scale. And all that Turtle stuff looks amazing. And not too long after I watched that interview, I went to my Target, because I'm an ambassador for there and everything. NECA Target ambassador. I really enjoy it. But I went into my Target and they were loaded with the whole thing. They had all 4 of the packs. They had the Leonardo with the Shredder. They had the Donatello with the Krang. They had the Raphael with the Foot Soldier. The Michelangelo with the Foot Soldier. They are 51 something, so hopefully I start getting some gift cards and that from NECA for the Target NECA ambassador thing, because I want to pick them up, but they're sold out now. They were loaded with them last Monday and still somewhat loaded with them last Wednesday, but then Sunday we went there, and then I went in Monday to see if the shelf needed to be fixed, which it really didn't. So I went in yesterday and fixed the shelf, because it did need to be fixed. They had the plushies all, screwed up, and the Robocopper's Terminator figures were not even in the right area. The Terminator figures weren't either. So I fixed all that up. Then I went to the other NECA section, because apparently Target didn't pay attention when NECA said, hey, we don't want our stuff in the toy section. So there was another section in an out capsule by the toy section. So I fixed that up, and they had one of those turtle packs left. It was the Raphael with the Foot Soldier, but some freaking douchebag tried to steal it, which I'll talk more about that in a minute, because that's not the first I've seen that somebody's tried to steal NECA stuff from Target since it's been there, which I'll talk about in a minute. But anyway, they unveiled a new Pennywise for the current and the Tim Curry version. So, and the version of Pennywise from this is the one where he's coming out of the screen, which, I'll be honest with you, it's the scariest scene of the movie. Even I got a little scared of it, and I usually don't get that scared at horror movies, but that's one of the scary scenes where he's coming out of the screen at the kids. That was a very intense, scary scene. Now, I can talk about the funny, but I'll save that for when I actually review the It movie, which I probably will review right around time when it gets close for the next one to come out, Chapter 2. But they did also do another Tim Curry Pennywise. I think he's going to have the little thing where he's in the book and he has a pole, which honestly I think that was kind of one of the scariest, intense moments in that one. Was when they're looking in the book and then they see Pennywise come up and he's on the pole and he's saying, I'm going to get y'all, and that and stuff. So, I mean, I didn't get scared of that part, but, it seemed like it was, I was like, yeah, that's an intense scene, and a lot of other people probably got scared of it, but I didn't. But that scene where he's coming out of the freaking screen, yeah. Even I got a little jumpy and scared of that part. But, so, 2 new Pennywises are coming. Two of them going to be in the 7-inch scale, and then they're going to have quarter scales of this one and the Tim Curry one. The Halloween figures they unveiled, they showed off the one that just came out for the new Halloween movie. Then they showed off Laurie Strode from the new Halloween movie, and honestly, I'm not too excited for the Laurie Strode from the new Halloween movie. I mean, because honestly, to me, as a fan of the Halloween movies, I watched the very first one when I was 6 years old, and I'd watch it over and over and over again. That's how much I love the Halloween movies. And the original 2 isn't bad. The only reason why they want to delete everything is because in the original two, they unveiled that Laurie Strode was Michael Myers' sister, and a lot of people are complaining about that. Even so-called true fans of the freaking franchise. Oh, that's stupid that it's not her sister. But you built the lore that she was his sister originally. Now it's just like, oh, it don't exist. Which, one of the reasons why that movie was a big disappointment to me, as a Halloween fan, is because they're supposed to be deleting everything after part one. Part one's supposed to exist, and then this 2018 one's supposed to exist. But then you do throwbacks to other Halloween movies in the franchise. Some good, some bad, whatever. So you want to delete this, but then you're giving throwbacks to ones that people might want to go back and watch on Blu-ray. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I can see, that's been criticisms with stuff like, the 2016 Ghostbuster movie, and a bunch of other freaking remakes and sequels that were trying to delete everything else. So for you to sit there and say, oh, we're deleting all these, but yeah, we're going to do throwbacks, especially the plot twist at the end where the doctor wants to control Michael, kind of like Wynn did in Halloween 6. Well, apparently Wynn was controlling him the whole time until he finally just destroyed everybody. That's not spoiled. The movie's been on Blu-ray for a while now. The movie's been out in theaters it's been out of the theaters for a while. It's been on Blu-ray now. So, I'm not going to consider it a spoiler, but you sit there, you throw that plot line in, even though Michael Myers, didn't work with him, he killed him, but still, the fact that you put that storyline in there is still stupid. When you're trying to delete every other movie from Halloween, from the original two, all the way to Halloween Resurrection, which I'm glad Resurrection's deleted because Resurrection, don't get me started on Resurrection. But anyway, but not only did they, so I want an old school Laurie Strode from the original 1 and 2 Halloween movies. I don't care for this new one. I don't say it's bad like Resurrection bad. I just feel like it was disappointment. I don't care for it. And they could have did it better. But, And I was actually at the point when I seen that it had some good reviews. I'm like, well, maybe I should give it a chance. And what happened? Turned out to be bad. Well, I'm not going to say bad, but turned out to be disappointing for me. So, I was done with that. Alright, so they unveiled another Michael Myers figure, which is from the original Part 2, which I was excited for because, like I said, I like the original Part 2. I think it's good. If I had to rank them, I'd probably have Halloween 4, then Halloween 1, and then the original 2. And then from there, I'd decide. Yeah. People's probably going to be like, what, you're putting Halloween 4 over Halloween, the original one? Yeah. But, I got my reasons for that. Anyway, and, after I just said I sat there at 6 years old and would watch Halloween 1 over and over again, which I did. But, I don't know, there's just something about 4 that I liked a little bit better than I did, the first one. Just a little bit, not too much. Anyway, so that's awesome that we're getting a Halloween figure from the original 2. I'd like to see them, if it's alright with the family of Donald Pleasance, to put out another Loomis, like a classic Loomis from the Halloween franchise. And that'd be cool to see, because they did come in a 2-pack, but it's a very expensive 2-pack, and at the time it didn't show up in any of my stores. And plus, like I said, it's very expensive on like places like Toy Wiz or whatever. I don't even think it's on Toy Wiz, like eBay or whatever. Very expensive. I'd say probably about around $200, $300 expensive. But yeah, so can we get a classic old school Loomis from the first one, and then if you make more Michael Myers from the Halloween movies, can we get a Loomis to go with that Michael Myers? And that's something, well, I'll talk about one of the things that I want to see from them at the end. But yeah. Also, they unveiled a I don't know how to say the guy's name. I know he's in Nightmare on Elm Street 6, Freddy's Dead. I know he's in the first Alien movie. I know he's in the first Roger Moore James Bond movie, which is Live and Let Die. But I just cannot say his name. It's Hubert Yafete or something like that. I don't know. But they made an alien figure of him from the Alien movie. I think they also got a new Ridley coming out. Let's see. They got some new Predator stuff coming out, which I already seen at Target as well. Like they got a blue from their Predator line, which I've already seen at Target. It's already sold out, but you know. And then they unveiled some Kenner style stuff, like, you know, for Alien. They unveiled some Kenner style Alien figures. They also unveiled a Mego style New Nightmare Freddy Krueger. Honestly, I'd rather see an ultimate version of the New Nightmare Freddy Krueger. Because their Mego style figures, sometimes when they make monsters, the monsters freaking look like they got flesh under their body instead of a burn charred body. And I'm sure y'all know, if y'all watched my reviews a while back of the freaking Freddy Krueger Part 3 and 4 figures that weren't ultimate versions, y'all know what I thought about that. But anyway, also, let's see, what else? Something I'm surprised they didn't show off, because I know the new movie's coming out. I don't know if it's coming out this year or next year, but I'm surprised they did not show off no Terminator figures for the new Terminator movie. That really shocked me. Because usually when a new movie comes out, they got to show it off. I mean, they did show off that they do have the Ultimate Predator. I don't know if that's coming out or if it's already out. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. But they also unveiled Roy Jason, finally. Roy Jason. Now if we can get 7, 8, 9, X. Maybe Freddy versus Jason as well. Or maybe not. Who knows? But, you know, and hopefully I'm pretty sure it's going to be tough to find like this one was. Because originally, this one, when me and my family went to New York this past October, this was at a comic shop. It was $29.99. I pretty much rather would have paid that than freaking paid what I paid for it, which I'll talk about in a sec. But anyway, I was going to buy it, but I didn't have my wallet when I was in that comic shop, so I was going to go out and get my wallet from my wife and buy this for my son. And everybody just kept walking on when I came out of the comic shop. So I told my wife, I'm like, hey, they got the Dream Sequence Jason figure that I wanted to get for James in here. But, it was a tough day. We didn't have much time either, so we had to keep moving. Because we got there at 10 in the morning and then didn't get back. Then we had to be back by freaking 10 in the evening to where the bus was picking us up at. But then I took my son to a doctor's appointment, and this was before I became a NECA ambassador at Target. We found this. Didn't have the money to get it at the time, but so I told my son, I'm like, we'll hide it, and then when we get the money, which we should be getting it soon, I'll go buy it. By the time we got the money for it, the thing was already sold out. It was gone. So what I had to do for Christmas is I had to go on Toy Wiz, which charged $40 for this. I had to pay $39.99. $10 more than what they were charging at Target. Or Comic to Games, because Comic to Games was sold out of it too. $10 more than what, that's what I had to pay. Not to mention the shipping and handling price with it too. So, hopefully it's not going to be that tough for Roy, and if it's a situation where when Roy does hit the shelves, if we got money, I'm definitely picking it up for my son. He's got all the Jasons except for the Retro Jason. Part 3, he's got Part 2, he's got Part 4, he's got Part 6, he's got Part 5 Dream Sequence. The other one he doesn't have is the one that came in a 2-pack with Mrs. Voorhees. You don't have the little kid Jason either, but, you know, I don't think anybody really cares about the little kid Jason. I mean, even true hardcore fans, I don't think really care about the, you know, kid Jason. He's only in the movie for like one scene, but for all those people that make the joke about, oh, Jason wasn't in every Friday the 13th. Oh yeah, he was, because part 1, he was a little kid that pulled Alice, even though it was a dream sequence. He pulled Alice into the water. Part 5, he was at the beginning in dream sequences, and when Tommy was, you know, hallucinating, he was in there. So Jason was in every Friday the 13th. I know it's a little minor thing to be technical about, but he was. Anyway, you know, he may not have been the killer in those movies, but he was in them. So anyway, what else did I unveil? I already talked about the Kenner style alien figures. Oh yeah, what are they called? Terry Tunes or something Tunes figures they unveiled. They unveiled a Freddy, a Jason, a couple others. Because Randy also said, yeah, we're trying to sell more kid-friendly stuff too, you know. We'll still have it be better detailed than frickin' any other place will, but yeah. We'll still have it better made than any other place will. Well, he didn't say that, I'm saying that. Because even those frickin' Terror Tunes or whatever they were called, those things look pretty well detailed for them being for kids. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Alright. Let me check and see if there's been any chat. Probably not. And the figures fell. Someone liked it. Anyway, everything fell. God darn it. The slightest movement. That's something I do have an issue with NECA figures, is the slightest movement and them figures will fall. Think about buying my son some of those. Probably well, I keep mine mostly in the box, but you know, if I did take them out of the box, buy some of those things for, and they're only $10, and I don't know what Freddy's hat is, I'll find it after the video. Anyway, so now there's some things I'd like to see a couple of these companies make in the future. First off, let's go with Dime Select. Where's the Vinny Vega figure, man? Y'all promised us Vinny Vega. Are we going to get Uma Thurman too? I don't know. But we got to get Vinny Vega. I didn't realize they even got the great detail of his head being gashed real bad. That's pretty cool. Anyway, where's the Vincent Vega? And I can't call him Vincent Vega. Where's the Vincent Vega? Now, they did have more of the Our Real Ghostbuster stuff there, but yeah, that's stuff we seen at Comic-Con. Vincent Vega, Uma Thurman, what other main character could be? I mean, we already got Jules, Butch, and Marcellus. Can we get the guys that they, you know, they went to try to kill for ripping off Marcellus? Oh, fudge. I don't know if they got the likeness, if Dime Select's got the likeness to them, but you never know. Alright, now for WWE Mattel, first thing first. What I'd like to see from Mattel is them making more WCW belts. I mean, WCW figure belts, because they've only made one, which they botched, but the detailing's good and all that. They also botched the figure, and yeah, speaking of which, in the review I kept saying he wore black tights when he beat Vader for the championship. It was actually purple. So I corrected myself on that one. But, you know, make them right this time, though. Don't buy it like you did this freaking belt. I'd like to see a newer version of this, a little bit bigger than what it is, because the belt was not that small. It was small, but it wasn't that small, and the strap on it is way too long for that belt, because that belt, at a a short strap. Go back and watch some of your old stuff on WCW on that belt in 91 to 94. But what I would like to see, if they do make, I'd like to see them take this belt, the WWE version of the World Heavyweight title, resculpt it into this Toy Biz style one that comes with the Power Slammer figures and that Toy Biz came out with for WCW. And the only thing that's wrong with this, it don't have the floral pattern. Or you could let's get this. Could make it Jack style like that. Jack's ones have the floral pattern. And but I would say probably this one would go better. Because this one's a little too big. But I think this one might be a little bit better to use for your WCW version of the Big Gold Championship. All you have to do, the side plates are decent. All you have to do is just put the floral pattern on it. If you want to remove the WCW logo from the nameplate, you could, or you could keep it on there. You never know. I'd also like to see WCW versions of the US title, Cruiserweight title, WCW Tag Team belts, both versions. WCW US title, both versions. WCW Television title, both versions. Even the WCW Hardcore title, both versions. Because, when you put out these WCW figures, like here's an example. The most recent thing they unveiled was a Phantom dressed Rey Mysterio from Halloween Havoc. Why do I remember that? Because I watched that one when I was a teenager. Phantom dressed Rey Mysterio from Halloween Havoc 96. Fighting Eddie Guerrero for the Cruiserweight title. You put that you made that figure. You're gonna put it out, but guess what? You got a WWE version of the freaking Cruiserweight title with him. And if you did resculpt the WCW Cruiserweight Championship, then why didn't you put it with this Phantom Rey Mysterio? Even though Rey Mysterio didn't have it, he was fighting, I think, Eddie Guerrero for it. He ends up beating Eddie for it. But why a WWE version of the Cruiserweight? And not the freaking current WWE version of the Cruiserweight. Not the one they use now, but the one they used in the early 2000s. Why? Honestly. Why? Also, something I'd like to come back is the Hall of Champion figures. I think the Hall of Champion was awesome figures. It was one of my favorite lines from Mattel. And they put belts out that, went with, or belts that you haven't seen in a while, that went with the figure. So the fact that they ruined that was crazy as well. Maybe you can get Walmart or Target or not Target. Target discontinued it, and the Target where I live did not get any Hall of Champions Series 2. I had to go to Ohio to get this Ron Simmons and the cane that I got for my son for the Hall of Champions Series 2. Why didn't I give him the Gargano and Ciampa? Well, because he don't watch NXT. He watches the main stuff and he watches some of the old stuff. But it was just, I don't know, it was just so stupid. But yeah, hopefully Walmart or, GameStop, or if Toys R Us does come back, Toys R Us even, you can get them to sell the Hall of Champions. I'd like to see a Series 4 of Hall of Champions, Series 5, Series... I'd love to see them go as long as the Elite figures. They're pretty much Elite figures with belts. But, one thing, too, also, the only unique belt they've released for, even Amazon would be good, too. Only, unique new belt they've released for Hall of Champions was pretty much this belt, which they botched, which I talked about in my review of this figure. I went on kind of a crazy rant, looked like a psychopath in that video. Ranting about a wrestling figure belt. But yeah, I'd like to see how. Also, something I'd like to see is 2003 Kevin Nash. We got Diesel. We got plenty of NWO Kevin Nashes. Even WWE has an NWO Kevin. You know, when Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Hogan came back to WWE as the NWO. We got 2003 Kevin Nash with the Big Daddy logo on his thing and the little triangle looking thing design he had on his singlet. We need that. It says BD in it for Big Daddy. Because it was kind of a mixture of Kevin Nash and Diesel when he came back in 2003. Because, we honestly need somebody to chase this Triple H for that World Heavyweight title. And honestly, I think that Kevin Nash Triple H rivalry, I think it was an underrated rivalry in 2003. I think it was pretty decent. A little underrated. And would like to see that again. Alright, now, talking about figure belts. And I'm going to get into people that steal stuff too. From, like the NECA thing. And I don't know where that friggin' hat is. I'll find it in a sec. But, when I started being an ambassador for NECA, which was a few weeks ago, I went in there to fix the shelf. Actually, before that, I went in there to, look and see if they had anything new. Because I was looking to buy some NECA stuff, because I do collect NECA stuff. That's the only action figures I collect is NECAs. But, anyway, I went in there. Actually, it was when I started as an ambassador. I went in there. No, it was before. I went in to see that somebody's tried to steal a Predator figure out of there once. A basic one that's only $20, like $19.99. So why you would try to steal that is beyond me. Yeah, maybe the Ultimate stuff is more pricier, like close to $30. But, why would you try to steal that? You could just go buy it. It's only like $20. Maybe 21 or 22 after tax. Then, the Chucky that's been shelf warming there for quite a while, somebody tries to steal that. I was looking to buy that Chucky, but I don't know if I will because the box has been, where someone's tried to tear into it. And I like my boxes when I buy my NECA figures to be pristine. And if everyone's going to take them out of the box, I will take them out of the box myself if I buy them. But, so somebody tries to steal that. Then the Raphael and Foot Clan soldier that's still left from the Turtles wave, because that's the only one left. Someone tried to tear into that and steal those. And then the Blue Predator thing I was just talking about, somebody tried to steal them. Now, I get kind of annoyed when people try to steal NECA stuff. The reason why, not just because I'm a NECA ambassador in that. I mean, I'm against stealing, period, but not because I'm a NECA ambassador in that, but it really irritates me to see that people are trying to steal this stuff, and either Target's not freaking paying attention, or they just don't care if somebody tries to steal it, because, that won't not only damage profit for NECA, that's gonna damage the fans of the products that actually go buy the NECA stuff, because if Randy and them see, all the people at NECA see that, stuff's being more stolen than it's being bought, and if they're going to say to hell with paying for this stuff, then we're going to say to hell with busting our ass to make these figures as detailed and as highly articulated as we can. Now, like I said, I just complained about how some of these NECA figures have a problem standing, but, and the slightest little wind will knock them over. You can go in a NECA figure fall. All the NECA figures are already down, so, But, it really irks me when it doesn't. Another thing that irritates me is when people steal belts. Now, either they steal it because they want the belt and they don't want the figure, or they steal it because they're on eBay and they say, hey, I could charge a lot of money for this. I could charge $20 for this belt. Even though some of those belts are easy to come by, I wouldn't be surprised if, those guys at frickin' Traders World's wrestling booth does that. I don't think they do, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did. But, to charge $20 for a belt that you probably stole is stupid, especially if it's a belt that you can find pretty much anywhere, like the World Heavyweight Championships, which my son's got a ton of these. Like, see, me and my wife I have bought a lot of wrestling figures for my son, and a lot of them come with belts that my son already has. I buy him 2 versions of each freaking championship. Well, not everyone, because like he's got about 5 or 6 of these versions of the freaking World Heavyweight title. 5 or 6, maybe even 7 versions of the title. Not to mention these freaking Toyfair ones and those OST belts, which I bought off eBay. But so some of the belts I'm selling were purchased. They were purchased. I only charged $10 for them, and that's only the shiny ones. The rest are like $5 or $1 or $2. And I've just put a couple of other World Heavyweight titles from the WWE version in the bin to sell next time we're at the flea market, as Trigen Toys. I say as Trigen Toys. But yeah, he's got a bunch of these too, because what I did is I went around, found a bunch of these, because these are the WCW version of the belts, and they're the only ones that are closest to being the WCW version of the World Heavyweight title. These are second, but went around, bought a bunch of the Jax ones for my son. Some he still had from when Jax had the license to WWE figures. Like, I believe this one was one when Jax still had the license, re-leathered and all that, but oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I also would like to see Mattel make a Hollywood Hogan black and white, and then a Hollywood Hogan Wolfpack. But back to what I was saying, and then I'm going to end the stream and all that after I do all the other stuff. Blah, blah. Anyway, so yeah, bought a bunch of these for my son. Reason why is because you got the NWA version of Big Gold, which I put an NWA logo on it. Then you got the NWA version 2 / WCW International Heavyweight Championship of the World, which I painted dull, and we kind of used paint to cover up the WWE logo. We used something else to cover up the logos on these. So then there's that one. Then you got the WCW version 1. Then you got the NWO black and white logo. Then we found a plain shiny one, and me and my wife put the NWO Wolfpack collars on it, which is red. So we put the red NWO logo on a shiny one, which is with the red and black Hulk Hogan figure that the Storm made. Like, this is a Storm Collectibles one too. Then you had to get the one that was merged with the WWE Championship to... Then you had to get the one that was merged with the WWE Championship to have a true Undisputed Championship. Because, yeah, the Jericho, the Defining Moments Jericho, where he became Undisputed Champion, it's got the WWE version of the... Which, we're selling one of those, and it's like $10 because it was out of the box, because... We bought one for our son, but then someone else bought one for him, but he took the other one out of the box, so I was like, I'll just charge 10 for it. At first it was 15 because it has both belts that it came with, but I knocked it down to 10. anyway, yeah, because the one we gave was for, I believe, a birthday. Got one before his birthday. They took out of the cash out. But so then I put that one for sale. Like I said, it was 15, but now it's 10. But it's got both belts with it. He's got the arm pad and everything. But so we used the Jax one, and what I did with the Jax one too, I changed the way it fastens on the figures. The WCW version fastens on the figures like this. The other one fastens on the figures like, normal, like this style, this way. So that one is now with the Jericho defining moments that me and my wife bought him. So, and I don't know what I did with the world title that game, but I think I just put that in the bin to sell. I don't know. Anyway, so after I talked about all that, I didn't even say what I wanted, what I was hoping NECA would make. Well, I did say the Friday 13th figures and Nightmare on Elm Street figures. I'd like to see, well, with Nightmare on Elm Street, I'd like to see 4, 5, 6, and a new Nightmare. Not no Mego style one either. Predator wise, the only thing I really want from Predator is for them to get the rights to Danny Glover's likeness so they can make a Mike Harrigan. Or, even make, the rest of Dutch's team from the first Predator. At least freaking Carl Weathers' character, Dylan. That'd be cool. Friday 13th, like I said, 7, 8, 9, 10. And, if you want to make the Freddy versus Jason one. But yeah, New Nightmare Freddy would be awesome. I also like to see NECA make like Pinhead and Pumpkinhead and all that stuff too. I think it'd be awesome if they made Pinhead and Pumpkinhead and, the rest of the Cenobites in Ultimate form. It'd be awesome. Especially Pumpkinhead. They also did unveil Godzilla too. So yeah. New movie's coming out. And I'm jumping everywhere at the end of this live stream. I mean, Hasbro Marvel Legends, really, they pretty much put out everything I hoped they would. WWE still use some work. Now, their Ultimate Editions are basically a rip-off of NECA's figures. That's what I feel, anyway. I think that's pretty much it. I've rambled too much. Don't forget to catch the stream tomorrow. Wrestle Game Mania starts tomorrow. I will be doing a live stream of Raw 1, the WWF Raw game. Then after that, I will do Raw 2. I got a crappy WCW game that I just bought called WCW Nitro for 64 I'll be doing. Also, I bought WWF Raw for Sega. And I will be reviewing WrestleMania 13 right before WrestleMania 35. So please like this video, leave a comment, subscribe for more. If you talked in the chat, like I said, I'll respond to everybody's chat messages. When I get a chance to check it, I'll respond to it during the live stream tomorrow. I really didn't want to do the live stream form. I wanted to do it in a normal form, but yeah, hit the notification bell if you do subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. Hornsby83. Let me know what you thought about some of the Toyfair announcements. Did you agree with me or did you disagree with me? Did you think maybe NECA had a poor showing and, Mezco had a great showing? Or did you think Mattel had a better showing than what I gave them credit for the WWE figures and the other stuff like Multiverse and that? Let me know. They did do good with their Jurassic Park and Jurassic World figures. I'll give them that. Let me know what you thought of all the Hasbro Marvel Legends that they revealed. Yeah, so finally got this thing done. It took me having to do a live stream to get it done, but I got it done. And my kids are about to be home from school. So I'll catch you guys later, and peace out.